to another episode of the Total R&B Podcast. My name is Loreena, and today I have two special guests with me. I have Murat, who is an all-around artist. He is a singer, a songwriter, an actor, and a producer, and probably so much more that we don't even know. And then I have the wonderful Maya Elizabeth, who is also a singer and songwriter. She is a performing and recording artist, and also the governor of the DC chapter of the Recording Academy. So welcome both of you to the podcast.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
Of course, thank you for taking time out of your day to speak with me. So I do appreciate this. And we are here to talk about your duet, All I Can Say, which came out this year, which is such a beautiful song.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Of course. And before we get into that, I always start off my podcast the same way. I always ask the same question. So if you guys could tell me what comes to mind when I say, what is your first memory of R&B music? So I don't know, Rob, if you want to start first, let us know.
Wow. The first thing that came to my mind, ouch. It was like they came crashing together. So, my folks had records upon records at the crib. Aretha came to mind. But then, at my early, Michael Jackson. Thriller.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. I'm going to veer off the path a little bit. Because I think it fits. But some of my earliest music memories where like I felt at home was listening to like neo soul artists. So listening to Corinne Bailey Rae, India.Arie, some of those rich, beautiful voices that are, I feel like neo soul fits into R&B. It's just a category of R&B in my mind.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It falls under the tree.
Right.
Of R&B.
Yeah.
So definitely. So which artist would you say shaped, I guess, your career or your love of the music? I don't know who wants to start first.
I'll let Maya take that first.
Well, so those two that I just mentioned, like I said, when I first heard India.Arie's music, it felt like home, I like to say, because I think the warmth, her focus on lyrics and storytelling in her music, that deep, rooted, grounded sound in her vocals, the sound of the guitar, she definitely has a heavy influence on my sound and style. And then I would say similar with folks like Corinne Bailey Rae. I don't know, there's so much I could say, but I'll stop there. Yeah. I think those two were like some of my core memories of listening to albums over and over and over and over and over and over again for those two artists.
Love that. I can see that too in your music, how, you come from, their tree, their branch.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yeah. So, for me, I think on the production side, the other day here in New York, Jimmy Jam had kind of this listening session. So he took us through a kind of a journey of all of his hits, and it was a thin slice because that guy has jams upon jams and hits upon hits. So you come to realize that the music he crafted, from Janet to Boyz II Men to Usher, all those kind of educated me and informed my production as far as songwriting. D'Angelo, his vibe.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, D'Angelo was a big deal as far as an artist, a solo artist, kind of knowing how to emote. And I'll stop there, but there were a bunch of influences even outside of R&B.
Yeah.
I love that. No, definitely. I feel like, of course, I'm focusing on R&B, but I know for most artists, especially when you listen to your music, you can hear influences of different cultures and different genres of music that blends in. So that's amazing. And then, Rob, for you, what drove you to start a career in entertainment?
Wow. So the short story is that when it was time to kind of start applying for college, I went to my parents, and they were sitting in their room, and I went in, and they're like, "What do you want to study?" Because it was time to apply. I said, "Entertainment, music." They were like, "Hey," laughed at me. I was like, "Oh, all right." Well, so then I was also so I pivoted quickly, and I was like, "I'm good at math and science," so I was like, engineering. And so that was kind of how I veered over into education. But in at school at Penn, I did a cappella, and that kind of really informed kind of all the music that I was doing outside of school. I never
Mm.
let go of it, and I, met some colleagues of ours, John Legend, who's a good friend of mine, and so we kind of came up together in kind of the crafting of our careers. So it was always in me. My grandfather is a nationally known jazz musician. He's now passed, but that's how I really got into music. That informed my childhood, starting from the trumpet and piano and whatnot.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah.
amazing. And
Yeah.
so how do your parents feel about it now?
Oh man, they're gung ho because I'm doing it. They've always supported. They've always supported. They just want, they want to see you have a stable career. So
Mm.
they thought, right? Yeah.
Of course. And then
Yeah.
Maya, for you, how did you get into the wonderful world of music and entertainment?
So, as far back as I can remember, music was like a part of our just like the culture of our house, of our home. Neither of my parents are professional musicians, but my dad grew up playing violin and my mom played a little guitar. Everything she would teach us as kids, she put to music. And it was just there was always something playing in the house. Um, so I grew up with just a love of listening to music, and I started writing when I was 6. I would pull out a journal and write down poetry, lyrics, different melodies would come to mind. I was always making up a song. Um, and it was a way for me to process my thoughts and emotions, but it was also just something fun that I was naturally inclined to do. In school, I was always a part of, the performing arts groups. We had the Footlights Theater Ensemble. I did all the musicals and all the like the a cappella group, the chorus, the gospel choir, and then I sang at church. So all of these different outlets, I always found myself gravitating toward the arts, performing arts, music. But I really credit pursuing music professionally to a mentor of mine. His name's Rob Levine. And when I was in high school, we connected. We were both serving on the worship team at church. And his wife had said, I think you need to work with Maya. That's your artist. So he would invite me to the studio and say, hey, what you been working on? What have you been thinking about? And we would just start coming up with stuff together. We put a whole album together. I wasn't sure I could pursue music professionally.
Mhm.
I wasn't always confident in my ability to do that, but he really encouraged me to open my mind and consider and eventually actually go for it. So all of those elements kind of tie the thread into what now is a career in music.
And so now that we know like just a little bit of your journey, it was just a small like summary of it. So how did you two connect then?
So Maya and I crossed paths at a recording academy event in DC. It
Hmm.
was a listening event held by Vaughn Vargas, well-known musician producer in the DC area.
Rapper, DJ,
Yeah, yeah, he's the
fashionista,
man. He's the man.
fashion fashion fashionpreneur.
Right, right. So we were in a listening session, and it was kind of an FYC season back up 2 years ago,
Hmm.
and we had taken turns playing some of our selections, and Maya had played one that just blew me away, and ever since then I had a kind of mental note of potentially wanting to work with her if the opportunity availed itself in the future. And that's how I reached out to her when I was working on this project. I was like, huh, this would be a good fit. Because I never forget. I always kind of make a mental note.
Hmm.
And I reached out to mine.
Yeah,
And
and I
so
picked up and was like, immediately, let's do it.
Yeah.
I loved it that you two connected and made this song. Because like I was saying before we started recording, it's such a beautiful song. It's so easy to listen to and it has such a great message to it. So Rob, if you could tell us about All I Can Say, the journey that the couple in the song is going through.
Sure. On the music side, a fun fact about the project is that the track initially was in a former state, something that was pitched. I mentioned John earlier, John Legend, to his project. We had a few songs in the workings for him, and this was one of the songs that and it was outside of the box because I was doing kind of like a medley of his old stuff that he would add new stuff to. He didn't quite grasp the concept, so I took it back and I was like, I'm going to rework this thing, and it kind of evolved into a ballad vibe. And that's where I kind of got writing the idea of, there's a lot to say about making it through hardships in a relationship. Whether you make it or not, there's, when you reach a point where it's like, man, all I can say is that, man, we made it. And at the point I sent it to Maya, I wasn't sure whether or not it was a happy ending or just having agreed with the fact or settled the, or settled with the fact that it's okay to not be together. So I sent it to her with the verse and the hook, and then she rock and rolled. I can let her keep telling the story. Yeah,
Yeah, it was
yeah,
easy to write to. Um, we had a conversation about the direction of the story, where we wanted to go lyrically, and um, what ended up coming was, in the end, well, you could interpret it how you want, but to me, the couple lasts, but at least they're hopeful about what is to come because they've made it through the storm.
yeah. And musically, I worked with Sean Cantrus on the track, and we pulled in some amazing musicians such as Chris Morgan on guitar, Jason Foster on bass, on the horns, Jonathan Powell. All these guys are super top notch, well worldwide known. And on the master, Ben Lindell, really good engineer, kind of tied it all together for us to make it sound the way it does.
No, it's
Yeah,
amazing. So shout out to all those artists that contributed to this track, and I think it resonates so much too. Not only the message, but musically as well, because we don't always get to hear instruments on a track now. Too, we also don't get to hear about love anymore in music. It's a lot of different topics.
yeah,
Some that may
sure.
not be positive, that's like really out there mainstream. So it was
Mhm.
just refreshing to hear the song and the message. I interpreted that, the couple pulls through. Maybe it's just in my mind. I want them to. I'm rooting for them. Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I that's what I got from the track. But what sparked this idea for this song? Or was there a moment? Was there something you saw that made you want to write about this topic?
I think we all go through hardships, whether they be in relationships or life in general. And you can zoom out and apply this song to almost anything,
Yeah.
having made it through something, whether it be personal or in a relationship or any kind of hurdle in life. And there's always that feeling when you get past the hurdle and it's a victory. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that release was what we were capturing. And so I started that thing, and then when I tossed it to Maya, that's when we really settled into that vibe as to,
Mhm.
okay, this is where it's going to live. And my banner is long live feel good music. So the only mandate I had internally and for everyone involved was that it feels good. And
Mhm.
Maya has her own saying. What's your saying, Maya?
Yes, healing, truth, and love.
And those work hand in hand together.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's almost kismet. Like this thing was meant to be the way it sounds and feels
Yeah.
and looks, because we also had to kind of approach the visualizer, the video we shot, and kind of talk about what story we wanted to tell there as well.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
that was the whole journey in itself.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think I wanted the song to feel like that, that fresh scent in the air after it rains or after a hurricane. And it's not quite dry. There's some dampness, but the sun is starting to peek out from the clouds, and there is a sense of triumph, even if it's a quiet triumph, even if it's an introspective triumph. It's all right. I can settle. I can take a deep breath, and I can just be for a moment.
Yeah, that's deep.
No, it is because I was going to ask Maya because you do a lot surrounding mental health. Um,
Yeah.
and so I was going to ask, like, how does this song fit into that conversation of like emotional and like mental wellness?
Yeah. Well, emotional, mental health, physical health, and relational health, I think they're all interconnected. And so this song is overtly about a healing relationship, but we can't heal in relationship if individually we're not willing to do the work to be whole. And we can't experience health in any aspect of our lives if we're not focused on our internal being. So for me, it's just a natural, um, it's a it's a natural progression. The alignment is there, um, and even with not just the story we're telling lyrically, but I love, Rob, how it all came together in the production, and you did such a great job with painstakingly going through every edit
Thank
and wanting it to feel a certain way. I think that it lends to, as you're listening, your body being able to relax and your thoughts being able um to be
breathe.
reframed.
Yeah,
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 to
yeah, yeah,
breathe.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, that the positive messaging and the way that the song sounds and feels, that is also doing some work to help rewire your thoughts so that where they're going is not a downward spiral or a dark place. It's a more of a mellow and a calm.
Well said. Yeah, yeah.
Now, another thing that I got from listening to this song is sometimes I'll hear a song and like I'll picture it in like a TV show or a movie. So I definitely see this song in like a TV show. So I wanted to know for you guys if this song was placed in a TV show, like what show would it be and maybe what scene would be
I can't
going
answer
on?
the show because one of our objectives for sure is for it to be placed. So to pick
Hmm.
one or the other would put us in trouble.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it would definitely live in some type of nice drama if it's a series or even a film.
Yeah.
Some a nice emotional setting or a nice scene. But I won't step in that and mention one show over the other or even a network
I
because
won't
it'll
say
land
show
somewhere.
or
We don't know
network,
where.
but I'll say category, like you said, drama,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
romance,
yeah,
a,
yeah.
a good black excellence, black love
There you go.
type vibe.
There you go. Yeah,
Okay. So I
yeah.
feel like soon I'm going to be sitting down watching TV and I'm going to hear the song playing in the
Above
background.
all, that's one of our main goals.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's going to
yeah,
happen. I'm going to be
yeah,
sitting
yeah,
there and
yeah.
be like, yep, this is the song. Yep. Good
There it
job.
is.
All right. I love that. And
Yeah,
so, speaking of television and movies, Rob, you are also an actor.
yeah.
So I want to know, do these two worlds of music and acting, do they influence each other in any way for you, or no? You keep it separate.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I sit in a place where I'm a creator of experiences, seen and heard. So I live in front of the camera as an actor, and I live behind the camera as either the crafter of the sound or sometimes directing and producing. But they're connected. It's all creativity for me, and I'm creating experiences, and I feel blessed to be able to do that and to exercise those muscles in a professional way. Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah,
And for you, Maya, you have a series, Me to You or ME to You, a mental health concert. So I
Yes.
wanted to ask you, like, how did you come up with that, and what do you want people to take away who attend those
Mm.
concert series?
Yeah. So a few years ago, I was journaling about what I wanted to accomplish that year, and I thought it would be really cool if I did a concert around the theme of mental health and mental health awareness. At the same time, a dear friend of mine had reached out and said, "Hey, I have this idea. I want to give you a call." We hopped on the phone. She's like, "I have been thinking I would really like to do a concert around mental health. But I'm not an artist, I'm a therapist." And I said, "Well, I'm not a therapist, I'm an artist." So we got together. Um, and she had already had the name of the concept in mind from Me to You. But it just aligned so perfectly because my initials for my name, Maya Elizabeth, are ME, and I use that often. So we really wanted to create an experience where folks could come and they could enjoy music, they could enjoy safe space, but also receive practical insights for how to tend to their mental health. And we always partner with different local vendors who provide different resources, whether that's therapy or wellness products, like skincare, different organizations that provide different types of resources. And it has been such a labor of love. It's one of the most beautiful things I'm grateful to contribute to, but hundreds of people now have been a part of the event, and just seeing it grow and impact people and hearing people's responses. This was exactly what I needed. Oh, I feel so seen. I feel so encouraged. There's nothing better for me, nothing better than to impact people in that way. And so that's from me to you. It's a it's a contribution and it's a gift.
I love that. Super dope. And so
Thank you.
for you, Rob, you have this song that's out now. Are we gonna get more music? Are you working on putting this on like an album or an EP? Like what's next that we can look forward to?
It's always working on music, and there's always stuff up ahead. We're very focused on having it, as we spoke before on your previous question, on getting it on a film or TV project. I can see it living on either one of our projects in the near future, maybe. But our real objective is to really spread the word about this one song and to have people gain from it what it was meant to do. To be honest, yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like I said, anything I could do to help because it's such a beautiful song. So I'm telling people about it that may not know. So anything that I could do again,
Thank you,
I'm here
thank
for
you
that,
so
Yes,
much. Yeah.
definitely.
we really
Um,
appreciate it.
of course, and Maya, is there anything coming up that we should know about?
Well, what do I have going up? I'm planning for next year for sure. There will be another From Me to You, and then some other live events, kind of spidering off of that concept, and more music for sure. Think holiday time, warm, cozy, those
Um,
types of feels.
Think exciting? That sounds exciting to
Yeah,
me.
it is exciting.
it does. I'm all here for it. So I love that. So yeah, that's what I want to ask you guys. I can't say it enough. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you. Really
Thank
taking the
you.
time to chat with us. It really, really means the world to us, Loreena. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much. We appreciate what you're doing too for R&B
Absolutely.
and music in general.
Thank you. And if ever you guys have individual projects or anything that you're doing, I would love to interview you guys individually because you both are doing amazing work
Thank
um,
you.
in the industry. So I would love to get to know more of your story as well. But yeah, this was great. And so everybody that's listening and watching, this is the Total R&B Podcast. My name is Loreena, and you can find us on Instagram and TikTok at total.rnb. And I will be back with a brand new interview.